once for that, you had to start with cutting off from the center.
Yeah.
What mother has called
Separation
from the
of
origin.
the, yeah.
Yes, cutting off from the origin.
Yeah.
The very act of cutting off immediately at the same time had, divine took form as love. So it has to be a simultaneous thing, sir, and that has to be related to this creation in itself, in that sense.
Well,
so I'm saying from that perspective, sir.
No, mother says slightly differently.
Right, sir.
She says that the four emanations from the Supreme,
right, sir,
they went very far from the Supreme, from the source.
Right, sir.
They turned into their opposites.
Right, sir.
She also says in one place that this matter happened when they entered into the vital world down below, you see. Right, and then they turned into their opposites. Right. And afterwards she says that when this horror of separation was seen, she talks of the horror of separation was seen, then the divine plunged into the void as love.
Right, sir. Now what?
So it is coming out of the separation.
Yes, sir. I mean the plunging
and
is
then
coming.
She says, the divine love plunged into the void, and that love is Satyavan.
Right, sir.
She calls the avatar.
This plunging is coming after that, sir.
Yeah.
But the decision to manifest in this way.
Yeah.
Now, I will just read out these portions from book 11, sir.
Yeah.
So it's the Supreme Being who's now kind of profiling Savitri and Satyavan in his own words.
Yeah.
The way he's seeing them.
Yeah.
And the way he's seen their origins. Sir.
Okay. See, he says very clearly what the mother says. He says,
Yes,
take down 155.4.
Yes, sir.
He is my soul that climbs from nascent night.
Yes, sir.
What mother says, the divine plunge into the
sky.
Yes, through life and mind, the supernature's vast, etc.
So the element of love, in that sense, by the very logic of the creation's basic purpose, has to become the preeminent power for realization of the intended purpose.
Yes, yeah.
Because the separation from origin is there,
yeah.
and the first act has to be to rejoin or to kind of re-establish the link to the origin, and that love does, sir. As soon as that love...
Well, that's right. I mean, that's the plunge of love.
Yes, sir.
But again, you see, that is not sufficient also.
Right, sir.
All right, the divine has plunged into the void and is stationing himself in the void as love.
Right, sir.
But now that poor love by itself...
Yes, sir, light is not there, so what do you
poor
do?
Love. So again, in other words, again the whole process has to start in a different manner.
No, sir, then love has to direct itself to Divine Mother. Because
but there
only the other elements of power, light...
Then Savitri, etc., they have to come, take birth, Ashwapati has to take birth, and then do all the tapasya,
right,
and then lift it up, you see.
Right, sir. Solution will then only come from the mother, because love has to then aspire for Divine Mother.
So by love itself, it does not come out openly.
Right, sir.
It is again the divine action which is involved there. For the divine action to take place, you have to have divine ground for the action.
The love has to become the Aadhar basically for everything in that sense. For transformation, love has to become the Aadhar in that sense.
Okay.
Because that is what then first the link will be established. And then Divine Mother can be called upon, because once this thing is articulated to that, then immediately the call...
No, you see, that is true.
For example, you have there, sir, that as soon as in the finding of the soul, Savitri finds her soul, immediately the image of the souls come to the heart. And as soon as it comes to the heart, it immediately articulates as a call to the Divine Mother. And Divine Mother immediately descends and again settles on the lotus of the heart. So that thing, that linkage is in that sense is directly there, sir. I mean, when I was thinking about it from that perspective.
No, you see, that is all right, that is okay, but basically, if you go by the narrative the mother has given, and also he is the soul climbing
out of the silent night.
From the night, absolutely. Now, here the basis is at a little different occult level. You imagine now the four powers are separated, the horror was, separation was seen, and the divine plunged into the void.
Right, sir.
Divine has plunged into the void does not necessarily mean that suddenly it has started coming out.
Right, sir.
It has only become a starting point for coming out, and the starting point is possible only when, again, in some manner, the divine Shakti starts operating from below.
Right, sir.
From below, you see. And then slowly things happen.
That is nature in its form.
The divine plunge into the void is something which has been kind of put there in order to lift it up,
right,
to bring it out. The Supreme has to come here again and again and build up the
house
entire
on top of that.
He comes, and along with that, he is Shakti.
Right.
So it is that aspect of evolutionary creation. In other words, the plunge is the involution. Once it is involved, it does not mean that evolution immediately starts.
Right, sir.
The divine Shakti has to start again now from below up there. See. And it is there, then the presence of the incarnate beings of symbolically Ashwapati and Savitri becomes imperative.
Right.
Now, what I was trying was, see, we are seeing in the case of the adoration of the Divine Mother, I mean, he doesn't speak of her as love.
Right, sir.
The goddess of love.
Right, sir, absolutely.
Same way, if you see the description about the Divine Mother in the Canto 4, Vision and a Boon, see,
right,
what does he say about that, about her?
That will be 91,
89,
89.10. Yes, sir.
The description is, one he worshipped was within him now.
Sir.
Flame pure, she is flame pure. Ethereal trust, a mighty face. Appeared and lips moved by immortal words, etc. Then a marble monument of pondering shone, a forehead, etc. etc. Then towards heaven, to tranquilize a boundless thought, looked into man's and saw the God to come. Okay.
Sir.
Then a shape was seen on the threshold mind, a voice absolute and wise, and a harsh chamber spoke. Now when the Divine Mother is appearing in front of Ashwapati, she is appearing in the nature of somebody who has an absoluteness of voice. A voice was heard, a voice absolute and wise.
Wisdom and absoluteness.
So there is no question. He is not seeing the goddess of love there.
Yes, sir.
He is seeing some other person there.
Right, sir.
Power or strength. The boon is not from the Divine Mother in the aspect of love.
Right, sir. It is in the aspect of will, basically.
In the aspect of wisdom and power.
Right, sir.
The boon is in the aspect of wisdom and power, not in the aspect of, because that is what will happen in the case of Ashwapati. Unless that wisdom and power are there, things cannot move forward. Then again, see, in the same context, you see Ashwapati's prayer to the Divine Mother, 90.36 onward, the way in which he is addressing 90.36. The way in, he says, how do they address? Oh, truth. A voice, the wisdom splendor, creatrix, then radiant fountain, world free, bliss, mystery and muse, incarnate white passion of thy force, mission to earth, some living form of thee. He is not talking of love.
Yes, sir.
See?
That's very interesting, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
He is not talking about her. He is addressing to her in this quality. And then, of course, he says, one moment filled with thy eternity.
Yes, sir.
Let thy infinity in one body live.
Here he says, sir.
Yeah, I know. All knowledge wrap one mind in seas of light. Right. All love drop single in one human heart.
Here also he's not addressed her as this thing.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. But he's only wanting
all love to be housed in her heart.
Housed in her heart. Yes, so purely because love as a quality is primarily of Satyavan, sir.
Yes. Yeah, well, no, I will not put it in that way. Love is connected in that sense with Satyavan, not in that sense. Rather, love cannot manifest itself unless certain other things manifest. Okay. For love is perhaps the last thing which will manifest. The mother says when the supramental descent took place, what came down first was light and force. Right. And she says force first important.
To secure.
To make things secure here. So that against all the hostile things, against hostile attacks, it can withstand. Right. It is not love. Love will come later. Right. So here you see, in the entire description of Ashwapati, he is not looking at her from the angle of love.
Right, sir.
She is the goddess of love. No. Right. She is the goddess of power, of strength, of truth, of wisdom, all those things. Right,
and he is the himself the Lord of life.
Energy, life, energy, yeah, just right, yeah, right. So that way, it is significant that here, I mean, now in the book of love, the other aspect is after having established this thing, then the unfoldment of love, that is the story of love. Right. That why, in fact, because things are here like that, love cannot manifest immediately. When love comes under these conditions, what happens first? Love has to meet death.
Right, sir.
Love has to, Satyavan has to die.
Right, sir.
He must die.
And the shadow has to come.
He must die. Yes, because of that point, you see, Satyavan must die, you see. Then the power which will secure him, bring him back, is the divine power of might, Shakti, Savitri. That happens separately, you see. So, this is significant. Why death should be there? Because Ashwapati himself is not asking, please come down in the form of love. He will not. He is what shall I say, very pragmatic in the occult sense that look, unless these things are present here, the divine love cannot exist here. The divine love has to come, but then it has to go through a certain process. Yeah, you see, this is the idea of discussion. Narrative is a separate matter. These are important. Why he is not talking anywhere to the Divine Mother in the nature of love?
Right, sir. Because that not solves the problem which he's...
and nowhere in the in that part, in the first three parts, first three books, you see, you have in the adoration of the Divine Mother, you see, not that way, you see, he's talking of other aspects of it.
Yes, sir. So he's seeing her in a very specific way.
In the spiritual sense.
Yes, sir. And he's seeking a specific solution.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah. And that is only by wisdom and power.
Right, sir. Which means he's very aware of the problem, the details of the problem.
And
so he wants to micromanage the problem, solution basically.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yes, sir.
And precisely what should be done. Yes, that he's asking something which is compatible with the things around.
Right, sir. He knows the work he has done.
Yeah.
He knows how it can be taken forward.
That's right. So that is in fact another beauty of Ashwapati's prayer.
Right, sir.
Ashwapati's prayer, you see.
So in a way, sir, what this also indicates for us to read Savitri is that we just not have to see what they've said.
Yeah.
We also have to see what they have not said.
Also.
Yes, sir.
Obviously. Very true.
Yes, so that has its own illumination of a different kind.
Obviously. Why he has not described in that list of things? Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. Love. Yeah.
So that attribute he is not kind of related to.
Yes. That's very true.